Wow.
Wow, this is some really deep stuff.
I don't know what just happened, but something happened inside of me. Something snapped, something sick.
I wasn't expecting that either.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. It's beautiful.
Monster is like really small, but it had to become that to stop me.
And then the hurt child became present when you mentioned it.
And I didn't realize this until now.
There were things that I didn't remember until now.
Funny, I haven't seen that before.
It feels like I'm the monster. I'm kind of seeing images of things, of a world where they can exist. This clarity brings all kinds of answers.
It's clear. She hugged me and then went back to her place, I guess, in my heart. Oh, it wants to come out. It wants to bippity boppity boop Cinderella me. She's melted into my chest. It's ooey gooey.
All week been finishing things, cleaning up more, started eating vegetables again last week. And it kind of just started happening. It's almost like I just finished going through a meditation session.
I feel light. When you hit that first joint, in the morning, and
I actually feel a lot more awake.
Okay, that was a minute. So, it's been a little while since we talked. It seemed like you were dealing with getting a good connection with some parts last time, and I was hoping we would be able to follow up on that, but I'm happy to go wherever you'd like to go. Do you have any parts you'd like to get to know better, change your relationship with?
Do you have notes of where we left off last time?
Not in front of me. But I could try to remember.
No, never mind. I'll just go with what's present right now.
Okay.
I sense a lot of impatience inside of me.
It cut off a second. Did you say something impatient?
Yeah, I sense a lot of impatience inside of me.
Okay. How do you notice it?
Annoyance inside of my head.
And how are you feeling towards it?
I don't feel anything in particular towards it.
Do you feel like you're annoyed? Or do you feel like a part of you is annoyed?
Yeah, part of me is annoyed. I guess I feel a desire to get rid of it.
Okay. Yeah, see if you can turn to that one that has the desire to get rid of it. Just let it know that you notice it. You could ask it for space, see if it'd be willing to give you space to work with the other one. How does it respond?
It's just not there as much anymore.
Okay. Is the sense of impatience still there?
Yeah.
Okay. How you feel towards it?
I feel like I'm trying to understand it.
Mm-hmm. Great. Me too. Let it know that from both of us. I'd like to understand more about it. You can ask it what it wants you to know. Getting anything?
Yeah. I just feel like I'm here and I'm okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. I feel pretty relaxed about that.
Great. Is there still more that you'd like to learn about the annoyance and how it comes up, why it comes up, what it's working for?
No, I feel pretty relaxed right now.
Okay. Okay. Are there any other parts that you'd like to get to know better or change your relationship with?
Something I was thinking about. I saw an example of anger like recently at work.
Mm-hmm.
And when I did, I noticed this part of me that I had the thought of, oh man, that guy's pretty like nice most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so when he got angry about something that I felt like he was right about, this part of me had a feeling of like, yeah, anger shows that he cares. And I noticed that. So yeah, I thought that was interesting. I made a note to revisit that at some point. That popped to my head. So I guess I'm gonna do that now.
Okay. Just so I'm clear, you thought that the thing he was angry about was was justifiable.
Yeah, it was.
Okay. And so you or slash apart is saying that the anger shows that he cares.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm wondering if there are parts. I have a lot of questions. One is kind of thinking about anger inside of you, and if that also feels like it's justified and shows care, or if there are other parts that say, this anger inside of me is not okay. It's not, doesn't show care, or wherever you'd like to go with it. That's just what I was thinking.
So where I'll start is what I sense in my body right now. I sense energy that just feels like a part to me. It is a part of to me. It feels really tense, like, like, hmm, yeah, just really tense. Like, it's not impatience again. It's still like kind of there.
Mm-hmm. Does it have a message for you?
There's a desire to do things right, and so this energy feels very like avoidant, like it's just like a desire to do things right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, kind of makes me like want to speed through things.
Speed through things?
Yeah. Mm. So yeah, it's okay for that part of the skin. Then there's like this other desire to like, I don't know, when I have the thought of, I'm noticing a part that notices anger in somebody else and approves of it. There's a part of me that gets like defensive really fast. It's like, like, if I identify with that person's anger, that's a bad thing. If that shows anger inside of myself. And so there's a part of me that like automatically doesn't like that. And yeah,
Right.
it's defensive towards that.
Right. Does the tense part that wants to do things right and speed through things, does that come up or have a connection to the anger?
There's a lot of tense energy with what identifies with that anger to me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What does it want you to know about that? If any of my questions are off base or the wrong direction, you can just disregard them and do it however you like.
So that anger was really willing to step aside, and I kind of got overcame with like this feeling of just really fear, being scared.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I can't really say, like, I don't know. It was pretty it was pretty intense. And yeah, then like I feel like something stepped in between me and it. But yeah, there's a part of me that's kind of scared to really look at that much.
To look at the scared part?
Yeah, I feel like I don't know, I feel turned away from it.
Yeah.
And
That all makes sense to me. Makes sense to have a angry parts that identify with angry parts. Makes sense that they would be perhaps protecting scared parts, and that there would be other protectors that just don't want to go there.
Mm-hmm.
So you could let them know that we get that. Just see which of them needs your attention or you'd like to keep getting to know.
I don't know. There's a part of me that just feels like I understand that, like, I don't know. There's a lot of angry, there's a lot of people with some really bad tempers in my family. So part of me that just really kind of understands, like, I don't know, I'm used to anger and form of communication in some ways, and just kind of makes sense that a part of me identifies with it. I feel that way. Then a part of me gets like nervous because I don't know. There's a part of me that's really self-doubting that feels like I identify with being really disconnected from my body. And like what's going on. I kind of doubt what I'm feeling. So I'm like, I'm pretty aware that I have like a very, I don't know, very cognitive parts that want to break down everything and analyze everything.
Right.
But the moment that starts to happen, I get like a lot of self-doubt that like, oh, that's what I'm doing. And then like, I'm just like, I don't like this.
Right. Yeah. Well, that makes sense too. We need those parts that help us analyze, and yeah, they can also make it muddier when we're trying to get the direct connection with parts in an emotional way. Or parts that are themselves very emotional, like a part that's angry or a part that's scared. You could try asking the analyzing part for space.
Okay.
Okay. Do you want to try to get back in touch with that one that's the one that identifies with anger, or sees it as being a way of caring, or sees it as being a form of communication?
Yeah.
How are you feeling towards it?
Well, I feel like I can be next to it. I can say that.
Nice. And does it notice you? How's it feel about you being next to it?
There's a part that came up that kind of called myself a punk.
Okay. How you feel towards that one?
Understanding.
Yeah. And do you have an understanding of why it wanted to get your attention at that time, just now? Or what it's trying to accomplish?
mean, yeah, he's still gonna protect me. I know that. I mean, kind of just activates other things inside of me that get me to do things. It's a piece of the puzzle, I guess. I don't know. There's, yeah. So I understand it.
So you understand? You say you understand it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And is it connected to, related to the anger that you were beside?
It definitely helps to activate it. I mean, I don't know. This feels like a nice shield. The anger does, I mean.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really very outwardly angry. I'm a pretty friendly person, honestly.
Mm-hmm. How does the angry part feel about that?
It feels okay with what's being said.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Does it have any requests of you? Anything you can do for it?
mm. Just keep checking in. Um, yeah,
How's that been for you? I mean,
been nice. I'm
yeah.
thankful. There's a part of me that's very thankful that, I don't know, I feel like something that's different about me from when I was younger, like in high school or something. I mean, I notice my anger more if it does come up. It isn't like super often, but I notice it when it does. And I just have a lot more awareness around it. I'm really thankful for that. And yeah, that part of me is thankful for that as well. Yeah.
Is there more you want to explore about the anger as a way to show that you care?
It's just the easy emotion to access. There's a feeling of, there's a feeling of like incompetence that comes up, and I'm self-conscious of that. And just from like a lifetime of, feeling like I needed to defend myself. I don't know. It's just been really useful. And
Oh, yeah. So you see how the anger cares about you
yeah,
in defending you. Yeah. And is that what you were seeing in your coworker when he was angry? You were seeing like he's caring for himself?
I don't know if he's caring for himself. I don't really know. Maybe he is. I guess he is.
It's about 10 minutes past the hour. What else would you like to explore, offer, ask of these parts?
I've said my goodbyes.
Mm-hmm. Great. How'd we do? Was this conversation useful?
Yeah, I think it's extremely useful.
Anything you'd like to do more of, or any requests of me, feedback from me?
I appreciate you sitting with my silence. It's really useful. So I guess that's more of a thumbs up review. I appreciate that. I know sometimes it can be difficult.
Be hard. We both have our analyzing parts that want to get in there and figure it out, right?
Yeah, I feel like especially on the phone, I don't know, like having a visual of a person.
Right, totally.
But yeah, I appreciate the time, James.
Okay. Well, thumbs up back to you for doing the work and for also being okay with silence and just letting it go where it needs to go.
Okay. Send me another link if you will, sir.
Okay, will do.
All right.
Have a good day. Bye.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, how are you? I'm good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you pretty well.
All right. How you doing?
Pretty good. I had a chance to listen to that last episode. It was,
Yeah.
yeah, it was pretty interesting listening back too.
Yeah. What stuck with you from it?
Uh, honestly, what really stuck with me from it was it's kind of striking to me how long I take to really answer questions, how long I take to
Mm-hmm.
kind of turn inward.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I guess a part of me really appreciates patience I feel like I've developed because I don't know, listening to that, like, I don't know, I sound like a very just like slowed down person. And in reality, like I'm pretty high energy, pretty,
Yeah, and I know you're not.
hectic.
I know you're not
Yeah.
like checked out. I know you're checked in. So, I mean, that's what I'm always assuming.
Yeah. Yeah. I appreciate because I feel like you kind of have to adjust a little bit, like, and kind of realize how much, kind of fill out how much space to give me. I,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I imagine if I was on the other side, that would be a thing for me because I mean, there's always kind of a pressure of silence, you know?
Yeah. 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 And in hindsight, I listen back to calls like that, and things go pretty well. But I know that in the moment, if I'm not hearing anything, of course, I have parts that are going to the worst, and it's like, so but that's my own. It's my own bag. I can handle. But
Yeah.
if you have any feedback or requests of what I can do differently or
No,
any
I think
ideas, yeah.
I think you do pretty well. Yeah. Uh,
All right. Anything you want to catch up on, or should we get started?
uh, we can go ahead and get started.
Would you like a minute of meditation?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll set a timer. So, got any parts that you'd like to get to know better or change your relationship with?
Um, hmm. So today's pretty interesting. I had my appointment with my therapist yesterday, so I
Mm-hmm.
hardly ever line these up like one after the other. It was pretty interesting. So I was like, oh, I guess what I was discussing with my therapist is pretty fresh on my mind.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess uh, I feel compelled to ask you, do you feel okay talking about the topic of death?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna go into that.
All right.
So yeah, yesterday I brought it up to my therapist. I was like, one thing I've noticed with a lot of my parts, a lot of times when I like really chuck down to like, I guess kind of that question of what would happen if you stopped doing what you were doing.
Mm-hmm.
The answer always just feels like, well, I would die. That would cause me to die in some way,
Mm-hmm.
which is just pretty interesting to me, and it kind of led me in just self reflection and meditation to thinking about like, man, like so many parts are just like the struggle is like a life or death thing for them.
Right.
They feel
Yeah.
like it is, and it brought me to a part that just kind of pondered, huh, why am I so afraid of dying? Like, why are so many parts afraid of dying? What would happen if I die? Uh, just thinking about death. I ended up just kind of meditating on it, and just uh, pretty interesting to do. One thing that really came up was just meditating on death, just thinking of like one day I will die. One day we all will die. There's nothing more certain in life than the fact that all of us are going to die. One thing that really came up was like, well, just imagining, me dead, and thought to come up was, I wonder how many people would be there. I wonder if anybody would be there. Then there's like a fear that comes up of like, oh, what if like nobody really cares that much?
Yeah.
It's just pretty interesting to me that just that kind of comes up. On one hand, I find it kind of funny because I'm like, when I'm dead, I won't really care how many people are there. But yeah, there's like a part of me that does really care. There's carries a lot of fear. Like that's just interesting that came up.
Yeah. So is the fear more about people not being there, or is the fear more about the death itself?
Well, that particular fear is more about people not being there. Yeah, I can just feel that like there's a real desire for approval, validation. I feel like it comes from just like a sense of abandonment. And yeah, kind of.
Right. And of course, as a child, especially, to be abandoned is to die. So it's pretty common because so many of our exiles are carrying that fear of worthlessness, of, they really feel like they need approval, or else they feel like no one will love them, they'll be abandoned. And that, at least my theory, that feeling is as scary as it is life and death. What's coming up for you when I say that?
That it does feel that way.
Any parts reacting or resonating?
Yeah, that part of me that does just have have like a fear of being alone.
Yep.
And yeah, it's kind of clear as day when I say that. Like, it just comes up like, well, why would I be alone? It's because I'm not good enough.
Right.
And yeah, so like what kind of just comes up is just, oh, that would be like a final approval that I'm not good enough. Like, it's probably very fearful of that.
Yeah. And then, of course, there's the reactions or the protectors that come up around that. Get distracted, turn to addictions, anger, striving. What comes up for you around that?
Well, when you said striving, that stood out. Kind of made me ask myself, what am I striving for? And then, yeah, I don't know. Couldn't really answer it.
Well, you could check, if any of this theorizing checks out with that part. Is any of the striving to protect from the feelings of worthlessness not good enough?
Well, I guess just kind of keeping with the theme of the day. Kind of just ended up asking, like, well, what do I feel like I need to do before I die? And there is a thought of I do need to achieve more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do more.
So is that a part you'd like to get to know better?
Yeah.
Okay. How do you notice it in your body?
I don't.
Mm-hmm. How do you notice it at all? Is there a message? Is there an energy? What is it like to feel like striving? Is there something else that's coming up that you'd like to explore?
Mm. Well, I guess just, I don't know. I feel like, but I guess what comes up is I'm feeling disconnected. I don't know. The thought came up that I feel too tired to really do anything.
Okay.
And so I guess that is something that I feel too tired to even do anything.
Mm-hmm.
He's telling me that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at.
That's fine. Welcome to the tired part. And we don't have to do anything. So it's your call. But if it does feel like a part that's kind of making you tired in order to protect in some way, then we could get to know it.
Yeah, it's not like I don't want to do anything. It's just there's just a lot.
A lot to do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Definitely. Does that feel like, is it only in reference to like internal work, or does it feel like that part's also letting you know about all the stuff to do out in the world?
Oh, this is everything.
Mm-hmm. Well, again, I don't want you to feel like you have to do anything here or even have this call. So if anytime you feel like throwing in the towel and going to do something else, I'm fine with that.
No, I don't give up.
All right. If at any time you decide you have better things to do, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I appreciate your gesture. That's not really in the cards.
Okay. So yeah, you could check in, listen in on to the one that's saying you have so much to do. See what you notice about that part. Invite it to notice you. Or whatever you want.
Well, I mean, honestly, what goes through my head is I know I get tired. I don't get enough sleep. That just seems like a very obvious thing to say. Do I do a lot? Yeah, I do a lot. Yeah, I have quite a few things I go to. And of course, I work like everybody else. So it just is what it is. Like, I guess a part of me just asks, is it all worth it? I mean, I don't know. Of course, it's worth it. I have to live like anybody else.
I'm curious, when you say you don't get enough sleep, is that an hour short of what you would like, or? 3 or 4?
Probably like 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, I guess I could try to do that. Not really gonna happen though.
Try to do what?
And get more sleep. I don't know. Pretty honest with myself, it's not really gonna happen.
What makes you? Why is that? Why wouldn't it happen?
I don't know. I just don't feel like. I feel like I'm probably just gonna follow the same pattern I've always followed.
Okay. I can see why a part is asking if it's worth it. What's the cost to you? Is it worth it?
Apparently not. I guess part of me is disappointed in that.
And what's it disappointed in? Following the same pattern?
Yeah, that.
Well, parts of me are tempted to talk about sleep and how to get more of it, but I should stick with parts. So do any of these feel like they're parts that you'd like to get to know better? The one who's disappointed, the one who's striving, the one who says, I wouldn't change, I'd just stick to the pattern.
Oh, there's a part that says I don't really want to know any of them. I don't know. Like there is a part that kind of just is like, yeah, feels very not success. Like I don't know. I feel like a little defeated right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess the answer is to turn towards the part that feels defeated because that's what's taking. I mean, obviously, it's kind of demanding my attention.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just feel like. I guess it kind of is just one of those times where you feel blah and things aren't really working. And I gets me frustrated.
Yeah.
Yeah, that gets me frustrated. A lot of parts come up then. Like there's a part of me that kind of like, I can't recognize in myself a certain tenacity. Like I'm appreciative that I don't give up. Cause yeah, like, I don't know. I know that's something in me I don't give myself enough credit for. So I just kind of feel like I should. So just big thank you to that part. And then there's also just like, yeah, in addition to that part, two things can be true. There's a part of me that is just like, man, I just want to give up. Like, I don't want to do this shit. Yeah. And
Are you able to get their attention? Do they notice you?
yeah. Yeah. Kind of have I have a lot of energy now. Like I can just feel it in my body. I just feel energy. Yeah, like I don't know, man. I guess just describing those two parts, I just almost feel like confrontational within myself now. Like I don't know, it's kind of a weird, but it feels like a lot of energy.
In the confrontation, what would be the message there? What is it? What is it wanting to challenge them on?
Yeah. Well, that just felt like a challenge between two sides of myself. One that is tenacious, and one that kind of just like does feel like just like kind of quits. Someone wants to call it quit. I mean, I don't know.
Right. Yeah, they have that polarity and that tension.
Yeah.
And then there's you, there's self.
Yeah, and I can appreciate both of them. Yeah.
And you can see why they're tense, why there's a confrontation feeling between them. You could ask them both how they would feel about letting you kind of mediate that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, that can happen.
They're up for that?
Yeah.
Does one of them feel like it needs your attention more than the other? Or one you'd like to start with?
Oh, yeah, just the one that, I don't know, does just feel like stopping. Yeah, like when I say stopping, I mean like, oh, I don't know, a lot of things come to mind in life. Like, just, like, there's just a desire to slow down. Yeah, there's like a real strong desire to slow down. Which I really could like just find pockets to do. Like that's something I try to tell myself. Like you just have to take like 15 minutes to do it, and it helps a lot. But I just don't, and that gets really frustrating, and it makes this part really frustrated because I just ignore that, and yeah. So, okay, that I mean I hear that loud and clear. Really apologize for that. That that has to suck to get your feelings ignored constantly like that. Yeah.
What's it afraid will happen if it doesn't get your attention that way and if you don't slow down?
I'm never gonna fix myself. Which I'm kind of curious that it feels like I need to fix myself.
Yeah. Well, you could ask more about that.
Yeah, like does feel like I need to fix myself, or I will end up down alone, like I started off with. Which I mean, that's a very drastic take. But yeah, like just wants me to be better.
Yeah, you could see if it's connected to those parts that feel like they're not good enough.
Mm. Yeah, not being good enough stinks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It makes me think how if there's a part that harbors that, then it's kind of easy to just want to avoid that. And
Yes.
then that's when the other side of things, the side that, I don't know, is very tenacious. And also, like, causes me to do a lot of stuff, causes me to want to just, I don't know, do a lot of things. And if I don't, I like get it out of some kind of nervous energy sort of way, anyways. Like, I don't know. Yeah.
Yep.
I appreciate it for what it is, but there's a lot of distraction that goes on because it's uncomfortable to sit with those feelings. On one hand, I soothe myself because, like, I don't know, I tell myself, like, well, deep down, almost everybody deals with feelings of not being good enough, so I don't feel too bad about it.
Well,
yeah,
it is something we can alleviate.
Yeah. Yeah, so that, I guess.
Because it's a part. It's a part, it's an exile. And self can heal them and unburden them. Parts have any questions or concerns about what that process looks like or how to do that? Do they trust you to do that?
Yeah, they can.
What do you need to help with that, to facilitate that?
Well, I don't really need anything. I just need myself.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it just kind of came to me like, I don't know. It's like, I don't think I meditated in like the last like 3 weeks. I haven't really been doing my parts work. There's a part of me that's like, this is really got to come out now. Like, I don't know. I feel bad about it, but like, I have really fallen off a little bit, and I don't know. I guess that shit is kind of coming up with like, the need to slow down and like just Not be doing so much. Seems like a really simple message, but I mean, I guess if the truth is I have been ignoring it, then I should just stop dismissing it as a simple message and just actually kind of do it. So yeah, I guess I just kind of give myself a little talk there.
Mm-hmm. Well, you had mentioned that it's uncomfortable to just go sit with the feeling of not good enough.
Oh yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel like you have a good understanding of the exile unburdening process?
Yeah, I guess good enough.
Because again, the idea is that over time, that part doesn't feel like it's not good enough. And then the discomfort kind of melts away.
Yeah. I believe that.
Okay. How can I help?
Well, I can't just turn towards that feeling of not being good enough.
You doing that now?
Yeah.
How's it feel about that?
Well, it was anxiety provoking.
Mm-hmm. Are the parts concerned that you'll do it wrong, or what's the anxiety about?
Well, anxiety is about causing something to be true.
Hmm.
It feels weird. It feels like if I turn towards it, then like I'll become it type thing. Just don't want to dwell there. So just there's parts that come up that just really feel like don't really want to do that, and so yeah. I mean, in the right here and now, it's just kind of just a feeling of like anxious, like I don't know, it's almost like this anxious energy that starts in my stomach. Then yeah, no, it's this gets externalized to everything, and then like that is how I become so busy is as a way to like distract from any sort of feeling like that. And
Yeah, it's very common. Have that feeling like if I turn towards the exile, then it overwhelms me, or I become it, or I confirm the thing that it's saying, because we do that. We are kind of validating parts' feelings a lot. If this part feels worthless, then it can feel like, well, if we're acknowledging that, we're confirming it, that it is worthless. And yeah, it keeps a lot of us away from doing it. So the part that's anxious, what does it need from you?
Well, my presence helps.
Mm-hmm.
If I stay with it, I can. Oh, it's almost like stages. Like I can feel the anxiety. It gets externalized. Kind of rub my hands, rub my legs. I realize like, oh, like I know, like the nervousness is coming out of my body, and just kind of like notice that that's happening and accept it. And eventually that stops, and then I'm just kind of left with it again. And I'm still here. It's still here, so it doesn't feel quite as strong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you can let it know that that's what your presence can do with any part. So if you were to go and be with the not good enough part, it would have a similar effect of, yes, you're shining the light on it so that you are seeing it more clearly. You might feel it in your body more clearly, but it also kind of unburdens it in that way of letting it know that it's okay to feel that way. It's okay for that part to feel that way. And you can help them kind of give it up and do what they'd rather be doing.
Hmm.
Is there anything else it needs from you to trust you in this work of going to the not good enough part?
I feel okay. Yeah, I feel okay.
Okay. What would you like to do next?
Sit here with this part.
Mm-hmm. And which one is that?
Part of me that doesn't feel good enough.
Okay. If you'd like my help or any prompts, or if it's just feeling uncomfortable, just let me know and see how I can help.
It doesn't feel uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Do you still have that unblended feeling where it's you and a part?
yeah, I do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do. I can feel it. At first, there was a certain heaviness. Then, well, kind of just took the route of while I was with this part, just thinking about the truth that I am good enough. Seeing how I felt about that. And there was a really strong belief to want to believe that. But I said, well, you can believe that. Then there was
Right, but
just
mm-hmm.
thought of
Then there was.
that would be nice.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm sitting with that would be nice.
Mm-hmm. Usually what I'm suggesting when we first are sitting with an exile is to witness what it's been like for them, where they picked up those beliefs, memories they might want to show you so that they trust you, so that you don't have to feel that way. Is not a hypothetical, but it's demonstrated by you being there with them and for them. So that would be my only advice or suggestion, is to ask it ask it to show you what it's been like and let you understand it.
It's been lonely.
Yeah, those parts felt all alone in that.
Yeah.
Kept down by other parts. Been a part that just felt uncomfortable to visit, so it gets skipped over. How is it for the part to be able to share that with you? And how is it experiencing you and your presence?
Well, it acknowledges me. And I'm glad to be here.
Mm-hmm.
There's a feeling of I'm just gonna have to keep coming back.
Yep.
Okay.
Keep coming back, but it should be an evolving relationship. It shouldn't just be sorrow and loneliness. The part can feel less lonely knowing that you care about it.
Yeah.
And of course, there are lots of other steps besides just witnessing that we can take. But that one is foundational. How do all those other parts feel? The ones that the protectors around this part, the ones we met on the way. How do they feel about you doing this?
Good. It's a relief.
And would you like to set an intention for how you will continue revisiting this part? Something you can negotiate with it, something you and I could negotiate, like we could start our next conversation right here with this part.
Yeah. I need to visit myself.
Yeah, self-visiting parts. This is the part that doesn't feel good enough. The protectors can't fix that for it. But you can.
Yeah. And I will.
What would you think about me bringing this up at the start of our next conversation to revisit? Just as a suggestion or an offer.
That would be nice.
Okay. I will do it.
I think that's a good place to start.
Great.
All right. Yeah. Thank you, James.
Okay. Thank you. Have a good day. All right. Bye. Do you want to help bring more self-energy to the world? If you'd like to participate in calls or help out with this project in any way, I'd love to hear your ideas. Join the Discord server or contact me at james@liveifs.com. A huge thanks to our audio engineer, Yvonne, for your care and diligence in editing the calls. To every caller for your courage in sharing some of your parts. And to anyone out there getting to know their internal system, keep going. Who knows? That might be the most selfless, helpful thing you can do for others, and you're the only one who can do it. If you'd like to see us reach the largest audience, we must please the almighty suggestion algorithms at iTunes and YouTube. And they don't care about the power of IFS. They're looking for likes and shares and comments, and the sooner the better. Follow the links in the show notes right here in your podcast player to make your wishes known. And now, a minute of meditation. Or if you prefer, pull over. You can do it in 60 seconds. Just click one of those links. They're right there, and give us a like or a 5-star rating. It would really help. If you think this project is helping people, you're helping people by sharing it. Thank you.